Welcome back to Lights Camera Akron. Once again, I'm Elena Pinto, and this guy is DJ Johnson.
Elena, since this episode is all about feeling good, what's your favorite thing about yourself?
You know, DJ, I think I have a big heart.
You know, I was prepared to rip on you here, but I can't argue with that.
Even though my heart is big, it may not be healthy after eating all that birthday cake earlier this week. I could use a few tips.
Well, here you go.
This is not the first year that we've partnered with the University of Akron for the Co-Eds Go Red movement, but by and large, this has been the biggest turnout. It's a great way for co-eds to get together and just learn more about how they can start being heart healthy, because unfortunately, you do have to start in your 20s. You can take steps now that really do set you up for success. So coming together today with Jim Trussell and Meg Metahovic and Dr. Johnson, having everyone here was just really such a nice way to have a gentle reminder about things we can do to improve our heart health.
I think it's important for young women and women in general to learn about, the Heart Association, heart disease, and how it can affect them personally and the people around them.
Heart attack warning signs generally are the same for men and women, but women do experience slightly different symptoms as well. For everyone, discomfort or pain in the center of the chest, pain in one or both arms, jaw pain, neck pain, etc. Those can really be warning signs that something's just not right.
I'm really glad I came personally because I feel like there are things that I could change in my life to make myself healthier and prevent myself from getting heart disease, and I feel like I can educate women a little bit more now on what I learned today.
I think it's just really important that women take the chance to not only get energized about heart health at a young age themselves, but then also take that message and share it with the people that are important to them.
Wow, that's inspiring. Probably should start watching what I eat a little closer. Need to cut down on the dessert.
Yeah, if you're feeling that way now, just wait till you see this next interview.
Why are you doing this to me?
You know, it's all about being happy and being healthy, and that's why I'm doing it for the people and for you. Take a look.
We have a very special guest with us here today. Not only is he a University of Akron alum, but he's the true definition of an inspiration. Personal trainer and fitness specialist Nathan Burke is here with us today to tell us about his story. Nathan, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
So first, I just want to ask you, give me a little bit of background and how you got started in the fitness field.
Well, it started back with my father. He grew up in fitness in the 70s. He was a bodybuilder. And when we were younger, he got me, my brother, and my sister all involved in sports. We played, baseball, I was in football. And then from there, he just kind of always wanted us to be physically active. And I even remember back in, my mom too would always give us breakfast of real healthy. We never had junk food. So from there, it just was always built into my mind that, we got to live well and, work out, be active. So it all pretty much started with my parents, basically.
So when did you start actually competing in the bodybuilding competitions?
My very first show was in 2005. It was a natural show, natural meaning, tested for steroids and everything. So it happened in Cleveland. It was Lakewood in Cleveland. So that was my very first show, and I was in a middleweight division, and I placed in the top 5. My very first show. I was pretty happy with that. So about 8 years now. So.
And how many shows would you say you've competed in?
I've done 8 shows, 1 in 05, I did 2 in 06, 2 in 09, and then 2 in 2011.
Wow, okay, now I know that you competed, you had so much success, and then this past year was a little bit tragic for you. You had to undergo some serious surgeries, you had some family issues. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
My dad ended up passing away from colon cancer in 2010. And so I was kind of devastated there, but I wanted to, keep, living up to his role, living up to his model, and everything he taught me, I wanted to continue on. So it was last year I wanted to compete again. So it was March of 2012, last year. I was getting ready for a competition, and I just noticed that something, wasn't right. What happened was I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2008, and that's just an inflammation of the colon. And I was able to treat it with meds real well. I started to train for my competition, and what happened was I just was not responding to my meds anymore. I was getting really sick. I was 210 pounds, and I just kept losing weight. And from 210 pounds to 160 pounds in a month and a half. And I ended up going in. Doctors were, they were trying to treat me with IV steroids in the hospital to get the inflammation down, but nothing was working. So I ended up having to go for surgery in at Akron City. And the way to get rid of my whole disease was just to remove my entire colon, or my large intestine. So it was April 3rd of last year, I had my entire large intestine removed.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, and then from there, that was the cure for the disease, was just having the entire intestine removed.
And it seems like you just continue to have that positive attitude after losing your father and then having it happen to you. Like how did you keep that positive attitude throughout this entire experience?
It all starts with my faith too. I'm very faithful, and my relationship with God has helped me through so much. Positivity was the key. I just knew, your body follows the mind. So when I was dealing with all my illnesses before I had the surgery, there was a couple close calls where I almost passed away like twice. I just got so bad. I was so weak. I was losing all sorts of nutrients, and I just, no matter what though, I just kept that positive outlook, because I knew if I thought anything negative, my body would follow it.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to get stronger, and no matter what happened when I was in the hospital, I would just tell myself, I'm going to get through this. I just felt I just wanted my dad. I knew he was giving me the strength. I kept praying, God was giving me the strength, and I just knew that if I just had that positive outlook on what I'm dealing with, that I was going to get through it.
And so now you're back at it, you're back in the gym, I can see you're already back in shape. How did you do that so quickly and so fast, and keep staying motivated to just keep building yourself back up?
Well, after my surgery, it was about 6 weeks where I really couldn't lift anything heavy or anything, but I was anxious. I kept asking my surgeon, can I go back, can I go back? So finally when he gave me the go ahead to go forward, and I can lift again, I did, and I just was taking it slow at first, with my knowledge and everything about the body, and just knowing that, lift light to start with and just gradually build back up. I just was careful and cautious, and I was able to eat again, and I've always ate healthy, and it was pretty much just getting back into the gym and working out about 4 or 5 times a week again, my weight training, my cardio, and eating healthy again.
So just to wrap up, what's next for you? Are you planning on competing again? Are you kind of done with that? Are you just going to stick with training? I
am planning on competing again. I still got one more surgery to go. This whole surgery was a 3-step process, so my one more surgery to go will probably be in May, and after that will be my final one, so I'm going to take a whole year because I'm back in physical therapy assistant school. So once I'm done with that, I'll graduate next year, and after that, I will just try to focus on probably competing again, and kind of use that competition, my final competition, if it is my final one. I just want to compete again to kind of wrap up my whole story, because it started with competing, and then I got sick,
right,
and I built myself back up. So I kind of want to finish the story and be like, hey, I was able to go back after everything I went to. I was able to go back and get back on that stage and compete again and continue to inspire others. So probably about a year from now, I'm going to try to compete again. So.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you, and thank you so much for being here with us today. You definitely have been an inspiration to me, and I know many others, so
Great.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Well, the University of Akron is so proud to have Nathan Burke as an alum here, and I know he'll continue to inspire others throughout his journey. Back to you guys in the studio.
My bodybuilding career has just begun.
Well, clearly you have a long way to go, and props to Nathan battling back to where he used to be.
I think his story's so good, I'll have to watch it again. Do you have any idea how I can do that?
It's not my first rodeo. If you want to watch all of our episodes or check out some behind-the-scenes footage, check us out at youtube.com/ZTVLCA and keep up with the show on Facebook and Twitter at ZTVLCA. We'll see you after the break.